Hello everyone, this is Anshita Makode. Today I'm going to show you my web Python application in which I have used Django as a middleware, and I have also deployed my project on Heroku. So I'm going to show you that how to deploy it on Heroku. I'm not going to show you how to install all these commands on command prompt, but just how to run it, like after deploying, how to run your project, like some of the steps I'm going to tell you with the help of git bash. And then before that, I'll show you the commands which you need to install Django on your machine. So let's get started then. First of all, let me explain you about my project, like what it is. Basically the primary project which you can easily understand. So I have used glass classification from Kaggle website. You can just go there and download the dataset which is available there. My project is glass class. It just classifies that the class belongs to which category, which type. And since this is a problem of pure classification, there are different kind of and different types of glasses which I can show you from here. You can just see inside this detail box there are so many type of glass. Like there are total 7 kind of glass. First of all, building windows float process. So this type of glass is used to build windows, which is specially of type float process. And the second one is building windows non-float process type. Then third one is for vehicle windows float process. Then fourth one is vehicle windows non-float process, containers, then tablewares, and then headlamps. So basically, it just if you will give the percentage of these elements like the sodium, magnesium, refractive index, aluminum, silica, potassium, calcium, barium, iron, and if you will give the percentage, like how many percentage of these elements are present in that glass type, you can easily classify like which type the glass belongs to among these 7 categories. Hope you understand the problem statement properly. So now let's move on to my project. I'll show you how I have implemented it. I'll show you how, like which commands I've used, which files I've used to design my HTML, CSS, and which algorithm I've used inside my backend, inside my Python file. So I'll show you everything, but I'll only explain you. I'll not tell you that how to install Django or anything. Like I'll not show you by typing inside command prompt. I'll only show you the commands. You should have to do that by yourself. So let's get started. First of all, let me show you my spider node. So the thing is, like, let's get started with prerequisites. So the prerequisites for this model is you need to have any of the IDE. You can have Atom, you can have Jupyter, but I'm using Spider in my case. And then you can have you should have Django installed. You should have Heroku account, so you can just deploy your project there. And all the prerequisites you should have first of all. And then if you are newbies to this full stack development project of Django, so I'm going to explain you some of the details, some of the things, and I'm also going to tell you like what errors you will find when you run all these commands, so that you will be well prepared before running your first Django project. So let's get started. Let me show you like my folders where my file resides, so that you should be very clear about your files, because mostly the errors come from these files and folders because of the location, like where your files are exactly residing. I have 2 folders. First one is ML Sem2 mini project, which is inside my downloads. Okay, and inside that I have my glass.csv file. I can show you what my CSV file contains exactly. One sec. And then other file is my model.py, which is my main Python file, which I have used in backend to code my stuff inside that. And the another file is finalized model.save. I'll show you like how this file gets created. I'll show you that. First of all, see the CSV file. I have my refractive index, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, these elements columns, and the type. The type is between 1 to 7, which will basically I'm going to use as my independent variable, and these like these nine elements, these along with Ri, I am using them as my dependent variables. So you can see, like, based on the dependent variables, it will classify that in which category my class belongs to. Okay, so let's close it. Then okay, so this is my file, and the model.py file is my backend file. And okay, now the next folder is inside my G directory. Okay, so inside my G directory I've created this, this folder publish named as, and inside that publish I've created my model name as deploy model dash project. Okay, one sec, let's, yeah. So inside my deploy model project, I have these many files. So let me just tell you that static and templates, these two folders, are very essential, and you need to create it externally inside your main project. Just create this inside your deploy model project. Make sure that you're creating inside that, and make sure that where manage.py file resides, you have your these two folders along with manage.py file. This is very essential because it gives error most of the time. So inside static files you have images folder, and inside that you should have to, like, paste your images so that whenever you want to use it, you can use from this directory. Okay, then inside the templates you must have your HTML files so that you can use it from here. So be clear that inside templates folder you must have your HTML files, and inside static folder you must have your images, and you can have your CSV files also in static. So after that, yeah, so you don't have proc file requirements or Git till now, because these three things are used for deploying your project to Heroku. I'm telling you like how to run your project, so you don't need to have these three files, so just ignore them. And this finalized model.save file you must have to copy from there, like from here, and from this, and have to paste it here. So let's get started with the coding part. So I'm going to open my Spider. We must have these four files in my, like, you can have any number of HTML files, but in my case I have two HTML files, one views, one URLs, one settings, and one model.py. And this is CSV. So inside model.py, let's get started with my backend coding part. I have to import these kind of libraries. I'm not going into much details about these libraries. If you know ML well, you can just understand this. So I'm not going much detail in algorithms or anything, because my aim is just to help you how to run your full stack Django project. So yeah, I'm concentrating main on Django thing. So this is, you need to import all the files, necessary files. Yeah, this one is important. Like, you have to import joblib library. Yeah, you can install, instead of joblib you can use pickle file. Pickle also does the same thing. It converts your Python file into stream of bits. But joblib also does the same thing, but it's faster than it's faster, and as well as you can, when you have large data sets, you can use joblib instead of pickle. So you need to just import your data set, which is glass.csv. In my case, I have to just read it, and I have created this data set variable to store it. Then I have already shown you my CSV file, so you can interpret from there that you have to divide your data sets into two variables, independent and dependent one. And after that, you have to just use this train test split to divide your model into training set and testing set. So I've used test size as 15%. So my 15% is my testing set, and the 75% is my training set. Then I have used standard scaling to scale all of the values into one common scaler. So I have used standard scaler here, and then I have used different kind of algorithms like random forest classifier, k-neighbors classifier, decision tree classifier. I've also used SVM, but what I found out was that a decision tree classifier gives me highest accuracy. So I've kept this as it is inside my model. Then after that, I have predicted my test set, and then I have just used confusion matrix. You all know that confusion matrix is used for to calculate the accuracies. So I have printed my accuracy here, and then inside my file name I have created this variable as file name, and I have just given this name as finalized model.sav. And from joblib, with the help of joblib library, I have dumped my file name using this classifier. So this basically used to convert my this Python file into bit of streams. That's it, the backend part. You just need just be careful that you have to use only this file for connecting. You don't have to use this model.py. You need to use this only finalized model.sav file to just proceed with your Django or with your front end. Just remember it. So when you just run this file gets automatically created in your ML sem2 mini project, whatever the folder name is, automatically get created inside this one, and you just have to copy from here and need to paste it here. So this is simple one, right? Okay, so this is my backend one. Now next, let me show you another thing, which is URLs. urls.py is very important file. And views also. So first of all, you have to connect these two files. So you just have to add this line from dot import views so that this file gets imported here, and you have to assign the path inside URL patterns variable. So inside this single quotes, I haven't mentioned anything, which means that in this path will whenever I'll run my local server, run my website inside local server, it automatically opens my home page first of all, because I haven't mentioned anything. I haven't given any path inside the single quotes. So it will just open my home page, and after that, because I have mentioned this views.home, which says that it will go to my home.html directly, and it will open that. And the second line is like I have given the name as home and name as results. Not necessary. It's your wish. It's your call. You can, if you want, you can give. So the next line is path single quotes results slash. So this is front slash. So this is used to go to the result file. After this home page, it will go to the result file. Okay, so I have mentioned this path, and I have mentioned this views.result so that it will go to your result.html. So you have to mention these paths, and this was already written inside this url.py file. Now let me go into views.py. So this file is basically it's very important. You just have to define all those functions, all those pages you have in your project, and the paths you have mentioned inside urls.py, you have to define them. So inside, like I have imported joblib because you remember, like I have just dumped my .python file inside and converted into stream of bits. So I have to load it again so that I can use the backend. I can use the answer, the prediction part. So I've used here joblib.load, the same file, the same name file, finalized model.sav. So these are my, like, you can define your home page and you can define your result function and home function. It will return the render request home.html. So what it is doing, it is just rendering the request to home.html, so that when you define it, when you call it, it will go to the home.html file. And inside, and you have to just define your result file also. So I've created my list and I've appended all the requests which I'm getting from home.html. So make sure you have to just remember this index name, which is RI. Suppose this is refractive index. So inside that home.html, you have to remember this ID part so that you can use your ID inside your get function, so that it will get what is the value of RI from your home.html. Just remember this few minute details so that you can do properly. You can just you'll not face any errors by doing this properly. Then after that, appending all these things, I have just created another variable which is ANS, and I have predicted by passing this list inside predict function. So it will predict this and like which type it belongs to, and store the answer inside ANS. And after that, I'm returning render. So it will do the same thing. Like I have passed these two things, answer and list. You can either pass answer or like you can pass any number of things which you want inside your result.html. But since I want to pass like answer as well as list, so I'm passing it here. So I'm rendering this in so that it will just pass into my result.html file. But I'm only using answer. So yeah, it's your call, like how many parameters you want to pass, you can. Okay, so let's see what home.html says. So you have to create it inside templates, you know that, right? You have to create it inside templates. You can see that inside templates you have home.html and result.html. Just make sure that you have to use these two symbols, which is delimiter, you can say that, which is delimiter, like which contains one curly brace and mod symbol. And whenever you are going to use anything from anything from your backend or anything from your like not backend, anything from your Django, if you want to use anything like from if you want to import images or import any kind of file, any kind of folder which are already residing inside your main project, like static files and CSS files and JavaScript files, you inside your HTML you need to use this delimiter, that is curly brace and mod symbol. So I have to load this my static folders because inside static my images are there. So I'm doing this, I'm writing this command, this code, and then after that this is my HTML file. I don't think so that I need to just explain all these things because these are quite self-explanatory. Then inside that yeah, this is main important thing. Like if you want to import your background image, so you have to write this line, which means that inside background image you have to write URL. Specifically you have to write it because you want to have like yeah, you for example in this static folder images I have high and high double yeah h double I. So you have to mention this URL inside single quotes, then delimiter static, you have to mention this. This is very important, don't skip it. And after that in double quotes you have to write like inside images the path, the directory inside images I have hi.jpg, so I mentioned it here. Then yeah, this is it. And then form action, like I have also used form action, so it shows that after submitting form this will go into result page. So you have to mention the action, like after submitting it, where will it require to go. So it will go to the result.html page. And I have mentioned all these things like my refractive index, my limit. I've also used the minimum and maximum limit of these elements percentage wise. And then yeah, you have to just remember this ID thing because you are going to use it in views.py. I've already told you that. Then yeah, so after submitting it will just go to your result page. So let's see what result.html says. So inside my result.html file I have used these kind of things. You better know, like I don't want to explain this because these are self-explanatory. I'm only going to explain you about this thing. Yeah, form action. So I have also used another form because when I just after getting the result I want to go back to my home page, so I'm using here like action that delimiter URL home. So it will, if I click the submit button like back to home page, it will go back to my home page. Inside that these are the type of glass I have mentioned it. The important thing here is this one, two curly braces, inside that answer is there. Remember we have passed answer inside views, we have passed answer inside our views. Like when we have defined our result function, we have passed inside our return function, like return render, inside our render function the answer, and it will directly take, like it will take this answer, the predicted answer from views.py, and print it inside result.html. So make sure you will use these two curly braces. This is important. Then yeah, so we have done with all our coding part. So let's get straight into our command prompt so that I'll show you what all are the commands which we need to use. So okay, so first of all, let me just go to my directory, which is G, and inside that, you remember, like I have created this folder as publish, and we have to just activate my virtual environment. So let me just tell you about what virtual environment is in short. So for example, virtual environment is kind of shield which will protect your project. For example, if your project resides inside virtual environment, and when you will download certain libraries inside your project because you want inside your project, like Django libraries or anything, it will not going to affect the projects or the files which are outside your virtual environment. So this is the main advantage of having virtual environment. So to activate my virtual environment, I have to write /scripts. Okay, then /activate. So this, it will activate my virtual environment. You can see that publish is written, which means that your virtual environment is activated. And then you have to go to your project folder, which is in my case, which is deploy model project. Okay, so now I have to just run a simple command, which is basically, I can show you. Okay, before this, let me show you how to install Django, because if you haven't installed it, let me show you the instructions. You just have to run these lines, these commands on your command prompt, like pip install Django will install your Django, and then Django admin start project deploy model project. I have created this deploy model project. You can name any like whatever you want to name your project. You can name instead of deploy model project. But yeah, so only these two commands are required to run your project. Okay, that's it. Yeah, so let me close it properly. Okay, so yeah, in command prompt you have to just type, okay, python manage.py. I have shown you this is the manage.py file, and run server. This will run your project. Yeah, and there's no error. So I have just copied this server link, http double dot whatever. This is your localhost server link, and you just need to paste it here inside Chrome. Yeah, so this is my project. You just need to give all the values. Let me give some random values. So any value you can give it, and then submit it. After submitting your form, the category of class is 2, which means that it is used for building Windows non-float process. So you can you identified with the given values that which category my class belongs to. So it belongs to building Windows, which is specifically of non-float process type. Now I'll click this back to home page, and yeah, this is it. But so now if you want to just deploy your project on Heroku, so let me just give you some of the important commands to run it. Or if you have changed any of your library, you need to update it, so that, and again push it inside your Git. So I'm using git bash to deploy my project in Heroku. So yeah, I've used CLI command line interface of Heroku to deploy my project. So let's get started with it. First of all, you just need to log in into your Heroku account. So just type it Heroku login. Yeah, it will take some time. You just have to click on login, and yes, you are logged. Just close it. After that, you are able to see that which email ID, from which email ID you are logged in. Like I have logged in from anshitamakure13 at the rate of gmail.com. After that, let's just initialize your git command, git init. I've initialized it. Let's just see the status. Like nothing to commit. Like I didn't change anything. Like everything is same. I didn't modified any of my files or folders, so it's just normal. Then you don't need to then commit also, but okay, like for the sake of you all, let me just commit these files. Git commit, and you can type anything here. Okay, it's done. Okay, so there's nothing to commit, so yeah, nothing is there. After that, you have to push this inside your Heroku. So git push Heroku master. This will push your whatever commit you have done, whatever modification you have done, but everything is up to date, that it will not show me anything. But for the sake of like explanation, I'll do, I just, yeah, suppose readme is my file, which is, I can modify it. So for example, I've given this colon and I've saved my file so that it is modified. Okay, so inside my command prompt I have to again run all these things like git init git status, so you can see that modified, your readme is modified, so you have to commit your modified version. So just I have to write this simple command git add double dash all, so it will just add all my files, all my updated files. Now I have to commit it, so commit, so it will just show me that readme update, so readme updated. Okay, then after that I just need to push this file inside my Heroku master. Just remember which branch you are currently in. So I'm in my master branch, so this will take time. Yeah, I just wanted I just wanted to show you how it works. That's why I have modified my this readme file, so that you can see. It will take some time. It will give so many errors. I'll bet you it will give so many errors. You have to just I'll make another video like how to debug your errors. So yeah, I guess it's working. Yeah, so it's done. So let me show you my Heroku project. So you can see, like, from our command prompt, you can just copy this URL and just paste it inside your site. Okay, you just need to paste it here. Let me type it. So this is my app name, Anshita Makode Web app.herokuapp.com. You can just you can just paste it in your browser also to see my project. So it's very easy that in localhost, if you are running, you can only able to see your project, but if you are deploying it on Heroku, anyone can see your project. So yeah, the same thing, you if you want to add any kind of values, you can add it. Okay, and yeah, I'm also like I have told you that I'm going to discuss about some of the errors people can face. So yeah, the same thing, the category of my glasses too. Back to homepage. Okay, so yeah, some of the errors, like application error is a very common error which people face during deploying their project on Heroku. How to solve it? The main issue is how to solve it. So the thing is that they'll show you some application error, and if inside Google, if you type application error in Django, I mean, you can see how popular this error is, because inside images you can see it. Yeah, this kind of error. Yeah, this kind of error will occur. Application error. So they just ask you to go to this Heroku logs dash dash tail. So people often confused with like what they will do after going to this command, like Heroku logs dash dash tail. Heroku log dash dash tail. So after going to the logs, how they will able to identify like what kind of error they are facing. So it's just simple that I am not getting any kind of error, because yeah, I my project will succeeded also, and I have shown you my project also, so it's running properly. But some of the things, like when people get any error, there are so many of error codes, like error code H10, error code H14, and then there is bash, syntactical error in your code, or there are something like, if in my case I have this kind of error as my project name is deploy model project. So in my case the error is deploy model project not found. Django is not able to find that where my project is. That you have to create your proc file. So you have to mention properly that where your model is, where your project is. So inside that deploy model, you can see inside deploy model. When I'll click it, what I was doing, I was just use this deploy model project instead of deploy model, but this WSGI is inside my deploy model folder, not deploy model project folder. You have to just be very careful about that WSGI file and that application, then dash dash Python, this is my project name. You need to be very careful, because it will not run if you make any kind of mistake. So it is very important to just everything right, do everything correct. And then another things are in requirement.txt file. In requirement.txt file, you should have your all the requirements like which are in your project. For example, if you don't have this numpy function, this will show that your file does not contain your numpy function, or skykit image, skykit learn function libraries. And you can check it by using your pip freeze. You can check it like what all libraries you are using inside code. You have to write it inside requirements.txt. You know now how to create this, that like pip freeze greater than symbol and then requirements.txt. For what it does, it automatically paste all the requirements into requirement.txt. Another thing is that you just need to, inside your python file and inside your settings.py, just make sure that you have imported this line of code, which is import Django Heroku. Okay, just make sure. And then also make sure you that at the end of the file you have activated Django Heroku with the help of Django underscore Heroku dot settings locals. This is very important, otherwise your project will not run. So these are the important things. Yeah, you have to include your templates folder inside the dirs directories, which resides into templates variable. You just make sure that you have to mention this template's name of your folder inside dirs. And then you also have to mention these two lines. This is very important because which shows that you are combining your templates folder, you're joining your templates folder with base directory, and you're also joining your static folder with the base directory. These two lines are very important. It will give you error, or it will not load your background image or any kind of image. It will not mention this. Okay, so make sure that you are mentioning all these things properly. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Okay, so these are the instructions which you can follow to avoid your error, any kind of Django related error or any kind of Heroku deployment error. You can just, I'll show you that pip freeze thing. So let me show you about pip freeze. Pip freeze, it will take some time. Yeah, so these are my libraries which are inside my requirements.txt. And to create your requirement.txt, you just need to pip freeze and the greater symbol and then requirements. Make sure about the spelling, because it will, you need to have this spelling as it is, requirements as it is, and just enter it. I'm not going to do this because I've already created my requirements.txt. And for example, if you don't have specific file, like if you have suppose skykit library inside your project, okay, but you don't have inside your requirements, then it will definitely give you error. So to include that skykit inside skykit library inside your model, inside your project, you just need to pip install the same thing. As suppose I don't have SkyPy, so SkyPy, the same version should be same, and you have to just enter it so that it will install it inside your deploy model project. Okay, so make sure these all things will give you error if you don't handle it properly. So these all things are for newbies. Okay, so like I guess I'm done with my project. And yeah, if you guys have any question, you can just comment it on comment box. And if you want to subscribe, you can also subscribe, like, comment, and so that it will encourage me to make more such kind of videos to help you guys out. So yeah, that's it from my side. Okay, so thank you so much guys, thank you.